Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Riverfront Library Strategic Plan for 2024 to 2027, brought to you by the Riverfront Sustainability Rehabilitation Team. My name is Grace.
I'm Eitan Rosen.
And I'm Laura.
And this is our strategic plan.
The Yonkers Public Library's Riverfront branch is located in Getty Square and was completed in 2002. It also shares the same building with the Yonkers School Board. It serves a very diverse community of around 200,000 people, and majority of the funds for the library is paid with taxpayer funding. It's very close to the waterfront, which also has a major connection to the city itself, which also leads to the plan, which will heavily focus on environmental and social sustainability of the community. The strategic plan is supposed to be implemented during the fiscal period of 2024 to 2027. It is also meant to increase the connection to the people the library serves and via various social media platforms, whether Facebook, TikTok, whatever. It will be divided into three strategic goals. One is the increased attention of staff. The second is the engagement sustainability as a key value. The third is development of a social media marketing campaign. The plan will also provide for various contingency procedures for potential disruption to the strategic goals. In total, the plan should cost $224,632. The city of Yonkers and much of both Westchester and Bronx counties were formed from the breakup of the man of Frederick Phillips III, who was a loyalist during the American Revolution and had sought refuge in Great Britain after the British defeat at the Battle of Yorktown. Historically, whose most famous industrial firm was the Otis Elevator Company, which introduced the safety elevator in 1853 for the exhibition of the industry of all nations, which was held on Manhattan Island in the New York City Crystal Palace. The Hudson River is essential for the city's industrial growth and economy, so in many ways the city didn't help the river's health. During the 1950s and 60s, the city started suffering a major economic decline, which peaked in the 1980s. A number of Yonkers icons of the county for different jurisdictions. Otis Company, for example, closed its factory in 1982 after being acquired by United Technologies. This was also a period of major racial strife due to the integration of the school system and various legal challenges to the housing policy regarding racial discrimination. This resulted in many white families leaving the city and taking with them a major portion of the city's revenue. The pollution led the river to being declared in 2002 the largest Superfund site by Environmental Protection Agency. In recent years, however, some manufacturing has returned, such as the Kawasaki railcar manufacturing plant, which currently occupies the former Otis factory. The city has also become the site for the main refinery for Domino's sugar distribution in the Northeast.
All of that leads us to today with a library with a rich history, lots of strengths, and some upcoming challenges and potential threats. Looking at our SWOT analysis, our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, you can see there's a lot of energy and a lot to propel us forward. Our internal strengths at present involve a really rich series of programming. We have won national awards for our Summer Reading Buddies program and continue it year-round, including a winter program as well. We aim to have programming options nearly every day for folks of all ages. We also have a focus on accessibility. We host programs in ASL and have an extensive Braille library that services folks throughout the entire state. We also provide programming and resources and job training in a variety of languages to reflect the diversity of our community. In 2023, we had some award-winning hip-hop programming, which relates to our history and ongoing achievements within the city of Yonkers. We had special edition library cards and a month of programming. We also cycle artists from our local area in our art gallery and provide opportunities for young artists to continue to trial and to grow in their craft through our Maker's Room. Outside of our programming, we have a dedicated and organized board who meets every month and publishes their well-maintained board notes online, which can be referenced by anyone in our community and beyond at any time from home. We have an accomplished and established director, Jesse Montero, who has been with the library for 7 years and is forward thinking and an asset to our programming. Some internal weaknesses are that we are pretty limited in our ability to pay staff a higher salary. We have a extremely dedicated team and wish that we could provide a higher pay for the expensive cost of living in our area. We are under the guidance and limitations of city budgeting, who happens to be our neighbor as well. In fact, our staff volunteer for shifts on Sundays, which is something that we would like to change. It leads to a lot of disdain internally and just some friction, and just shouldn't be that way. Folks should get paid for their labor. Currently have a pretty hierarchical staff ordering. Our public focusing acknowledgments only attend to admin and department heads rather than those who are leading and on the ground within those departments. Our staff contract with the city created a 1-year contract that's set to expire. We did have a short strike from those volunteer shifts on the weekends as a reflection of staff's concern about their pay. We are pretty sure that we'll have some challenges with the contract expiring soon. We currently don't have any social media that focuses solely on Riverfront. We are in a network of 3 libraries here in Yonkers, and we would just like to create some opportunities to connect specifically on Riverfront's programming. We do not have any staff focus on these efforts, focus on communications, social media, and getting our messaging outward. In terms of external opportunities, we are in Yonkers. We have a vibrant and diverse community filled with artists and organizers who are willing and able to collaborate with the library on continuing to expand programming and our effectiveness in meeting the interests and needs of the community. We are, like I said, within a Yonkers collaborative library system of 3 libraries. Our system was founded in 1893, so we have a very long history and network of support. We, again, have a diverse and vibrant community, and we also have a pretty solid history of obtaining grants to support programming and to fund the work that we do here at the library. Currently, we have $200,000 a year in various grant acquisitions, and we are hoping to continue to expand our grant programming to continue to, acquire more resources. Some external threats right now. Socially, the 2024 election is a pretty flagrant issue. The candidates are polarizing, and nationally, there's some concern about overall discord that might come up on a local and national level. We also have space limitations. We are currently sharing a space with the school board and with City Hall. We overall in Yonkers are seeing population decline. There are less folks living here year round, and that impacts our taxpayer dependability and how those taxes fund our programming. We also are in an industrial area, which is more likely to be susceptible to the impact of climate change and the negative impacts of unstable weather conditions, and all of the flare-ups that can occur, whether it's earthquakes or extreme rains that we've seen just in the last year and the last week alone. We also have the threat of how the city budget kind of dictates our overall staff budget, and this can create some challenges with maintaining happiness and people feeling good about their work and how they're compensated.
So with all that being said, let's discuss our mission and vision. So the Riverfront Library's mission is to provide a safe, welcoming space to patrons where local history and diversity are nurtured. We provide resources and diverse programming to patrons of all ages and backgrounds. And it's been going really well. You know, we have a rich history. And so we have all these programs. And with us being teamed up with the other buildings around us, we want to make sure that everybody feels welcome. The Riverfront Sustainability Rehabilitation Team's vision is to sustain the staff, environment, and outreach of the Riverfront Library in Yonkers by remedying the staff's contention about work hours, thus boosting staff morale and productivity, ensuring the surrounding environment is maintained so future generations can enjoy the majestic views and wildlife, and improving the social media of the library so that future patrons have access to and can be informed about our awesome outreach efforts. As you can see in this image, we have a young person standing in the woods with her hands high in the sky because we're enjoying the nature and we're enjoying the way that we can all learn and grow by coming to the library.
So when thinking about our current strategic plan that will unfold over the next 3 years, we are first thinking about staffing. Our big goal is to increase the overall staff and employee retention by providing staff with support, with clear information about their roles and how they can best achieve their highest degree of success within their roles, and to allow folks from the very beginning to feel supported as they're hired on, and reducing the rates of turnover, which are extremely expensive to the organization and frustrating for overall morale amongst our network and our team. Our first objective is to refine and make transparent the organizational structure and employee roles. This involves updating the organizational chart and clearly defining staff roles. We want folks to understand how their positions relate to one another and how they all fall under the umbrella of the mission of the library. This will be led by the library director and the department managers. We're hoping to restructure to have a more clear horizontal structure that contains departments with fewer management silos and more cooperative efforts. Again, this will involve the library director and department managers. We're hoping to provide management training to all of the department managers to allow them to best support the folks working under them and within their departments, to empower those individuals and to allow them to understand exactly what they are expected to do to achieve success in their roles. We will be hiring an outsourced professional to lead these trainings. Then on a consistent basis, we'd like to hold monthly meetings with both our library union leaders, staff representatives, and board members. This will allow for collaborative engagement and conversation on a monthly basis to understand what is happening, what are the challenges, and how can the organization continue to evolve and move forward successfully with agreement and cooperation across all of those different silos. We're also hoping to create a plan for including all staff members in the creation of the next strategic plan. The library director will be spearheading this initiative to allow those efforts to be increasingly collaborative so that people have buy-in and are empowered and engaged in the entire process of creating a vision and a future-oriented efforts to expand the library's goals and work. Our next objective within the staff and employee retention goal is to increase new hire retention and resources. We hope to overhaul our orientation efforts, creating detailed manuals and support guides about company culture, resources, training opportunities, how to leverage all of the resources within the library and externally for folks who are interested in research and in sharing and developing programming, for example. The library director and board of directors will work on these orientation materials, which will also, include the organizational chart and staff roles, so that folks are informed and can engage with and buy in from the very beginning. We also hope to refine training programming across departments. Not only will management be trained, but there will be additional training opportunities for folks within departments. We're also hoping to develop an employee mentorship matching program. This will be passed to a librarian two to spearhead as an individual project that they will take the lead on. And the point of this programming is to provide a clear match to be able to have conversation, support, and resources from a more seasoned veteran of the library in collaboration with a new hire.
For strategic goal 2, in terms of environmental, there are two main objectives. The first objective is to develop a community-centered ecological engagement through various programming and a new sustainable library certification. The first one, which we hope to have accomplished, is to obtain that certification to be done via the library director by November 2025. The second action is to create a calendar of various programming and sustainability initiatives and services, and this will be conducted by the various staff of the library. This should be completed by January of 2026. The same month, we'll also have the adoption of sustainability as a core value of the library services, and will be adopted by the board of directors and staff. By March, we hope to have a track user buy-in surveys and various program engagement and attendance surveys as well. And this will be conducted by librarians 1 and 2 as assigned. And this should be finished by March of 2026. The second objective is to update the building's infrastructure. This would include the reduction of energy usage, which would also involve the installation of new windows for essentially more better retention of heat and coolness, lighting replacements, more efficient lighting, and better insulation. This will also involve the installation of solar panels on the roof. This will be overseen by the maintenance team and library director and a possible outside firm, and should be done by March of 2026. We also plan on implementing a waste recycling program via TerraCycle bins and plastic bag recycling program, to be conducted via the maintenance team and due by April of 2026. We also hope to update the landscaping to feature mostly native and low water use plants. This will be completed by the maintenance team under the direction of the board by June of 2026.
Our third strategic plan goal is to work on the digital marketing and social media plan for the library. Our library already has a great website set up, but we can engage more patrons by utilizing social media. So our first objective is to select a communications chair to lead the new digital marketing/social media plan and determine staffing structure and individual staff involvement as per defined roles and responsibilities. So, together, the library director, staff, and board will create staff communications responsibility/ownership structural plan as per initial engagement and determined needs. This will be done by September of 2026. By November of 2026, the library director and board will establish a communications chair to overlook our future communications. And by January of 2027, the communications chair will develop a posting schedule with content plan assignments. Our second objective is to create a standalone social media presence for Yonkers Riverfront Library on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We chose these social media platforms because we felt this is what a lot of people in various ages are using, and so we can improve our outreach to update people on programs, meetings, etc. The library director, by January 2027, will create standalone Riverfront Library accounts on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. In that same month, the library director and staff will determine the voice, intended audience, and frequency of posting on each of these platforms. By June of 2027, the communications chair will maintain the engagement reach and demographic records, essentially seeing who's using our pages, what we can do to reach other demographics, things like that. By February of 2027, Librarian 1 will post QR codes around the library and in an email blast so that when patrons come to the library, they can scan the code and get links to our social media. And by March of 2027, the communications chair will purchase sponsored posts to boost algorithm for new accounts so that we can reach even more patrons.
So over the course of our 3-year goal, we break the budget down largely by year and then consider it in the grand scheme of the overall library's operating budget. Currently, the year-to-year operating budget is just under $10 million at Riverfront Library. The first year of our strategic plan focuses on staff training and resources. This deals specifically with management training and orientation programming. Management training involves hiring an external individual to come in for 2 days and provide training, resources, and information about how to best guide employees. We hope to have recurring opportunities for management training, but less intensive in the years to come. We imagine only a 1-day session in year 25, 26, and 26 to 27. We're also planning on having training materials for these days of programming and have accounted for those in the budget as well. Orientation programming is going to be involved and require some funds. Printing out the handbook will cost the most this year, and we'll have to print additional copies in the years to come. We also plan on updating Microsoft Suite and having some materials around the mentorship matching program for a total of $6,373 allotted for staff training and resources over the next 3 years. Now, focusing on our sustainability goal, the sustainability initiatives involve certification and programming and infrastructure updates. We focused on sustainability efforts for year 2 of our strategic plan, and year 3, there are some residual costs as well. The first year, 25 to 26, we hope to get our sustainable library certification. At our size and scale, this will cost $1,600. The renewal fee will be $250 each year thereafter. We also are setting a programming budget for a program specifically aligned with sustainability as a core value. We expect $7,500 investment in these programming and events in year 2 of the strategic plan. And then because the cost of things always goes up, we're creating a budget of $10,000 for the year 3 programming. We also are hoping to have a survey around how folks are responding to the initial rollout in 25, 26. So we'll be printing out surveys and have allotted for that cost as well. In terms of infrastructure updates, these will also occur largely in 2025 to 2026. We hope to purchase 3 TerraCycle bins for providing folks with the opportunity to recycle their plastic and paper goods and alternative goods within our own library. We also are hoping to have our landscaping redone in order to focus on native plants that support the most pollinators, insects, and life in our community. They also take up less water and will long-term serve the environment in our area in the best way possible. We also do expect to have to do some maintenance on that in the years to come. So the initial investment is $15,000, with maintenance being $5,000 in the years thereafter. We also are hoping to replace the windows on the library, which is a huge project that will start this year, knowing that it will take several years to be able to do sections at a time. That entire project will cost $134,000 and take place over 3 years. We also hope to repair our insulation in the library to reduce drift and leaking air in the winter and the heat coming in the summer. That costs $889. Another big project is hoping to install solar panels on the roof. And that is expected to cost about $15,000. So our sustainability initiatives within strategic goal number 2 are expected to cost about $273,000 over the next 3 years. So our third piece of the budget refers to our marketing and social media goals. The focus of these efforts will occur in year 3 of the proposed strategic plan, 2026 to 2027. The biggest investment will be in hiring a staff member or in changing the role of an existing staff member to focus 20 hours of their week on social media and marketing. This will cost about $26,000 a year to have someone's focused efforts be on marketing and social media for 20 hours each week. They will also be provided with a phone, with a phone plan that will allow them to do this work, and that's $375 a year. We also are going to print out QR codes to direct folks to our new accounts, so the printing costs are included as well. And for the very beginning of our time as a standalone Facebook account, we hope to boost the existence of the account with ads, are accounting for that expenditure as well. So our social media costs beginning in year 3 will be about $27,000. So overall, the summary expenses for the current strategic plan for 2024 to 2027 will cost about $224,000 and $632, about $225,000 total. Overall, the current budget is about $10 million, so this is scaled appropriately.
There are a number of possible scenarios that could hamper this. The two main ones are structural limits of the building itself and the budget being lower than expected. In the event that the proposed renovations actually exceed the structural capability of the building, then the refurbishment plans will be severely reduced to accommodate this, to make sure the structure's integrity is intact, and only insulation and TerraCycle bins will be retained in this plan. In the event of the final budget does not accommodate all three of them, the three goals, the priority would be on strategic goals 1 and 3. If only one is allowed, then the absolute priority should be placed on strategic goal 1 for staff retention.
In conclusion, we believe that the executive plan is needed to create a focused effort and ongoing dedication to ensuring both the sustainability and longevity of the staff at Riverfront Library and the Yonkers community at large. We are in the midst of a lot of economic and environmental stress factors because of our location, our history, and the state of the world. So this plan is meant to strengthen and embolden our community to continue moving forward. Our 3-year strategic plan aims to promote staff training readiness, community sustainability, and social media outreach for an increased connectedness in the increasingly digital world, allowing us to communicate and engage with folks that we serve each and every day, both in and out of the library's walls. We aim to extend the mission and vision of the library by working towards serving as a culturally relevant and ecologically aware organization and serving a diverse population by maintaining a keen focus on the future and also remaining grounded in both our history and ongoing experiences and lessons in our work.
Finally, we will discuss how we developed as a group through Tuckman's stages of group development. The formation of our group was unique because it started with a volunteer addition to the team, as there was a person who dropped the class, and so me, Grace, I volunteered to join the group. Now, this could be seen as a disadvantage because it meant that we had a late start, but we worked through this by discussing our Clifton Strengths assessments and deciding upon a horizontal structure for the assignment where there is no top person and bottom person. Everybody is on the same level, and we would divide the work equally. We learned that teams can work well together even if they have a late start, and that recognizing strengths and weaknesses helps when it comes to assigning tasks. During the storming stage, we realized that we had extremely conflicting schedules. I volunteered to gather the contact info and set up Zoom meetings. Meanwhile, Ethan took initiative in finding a library equidistant to the three of us, and Laura suggested text messages as the main form of contact because it's easier to track than email. We shared our work on Google Drive, learned that communication is vital, and flexibility helps. During the norming stage, we maintained open communication, did teammate check-ins, and divided our responsibilities. We posted links to future meetings on the same document for quick, easy access for everyone. We revised our norms as needed to meet the needs of the team, because originally we were taking agenda notes, but then we realized we didn't really need to do that, so we got rid of that norm. We learned that sometimes the norms you start with aren't the ones you keep, and that's okay. Finally, during the performing stage, I learned that I can rely on my teammates. Ethan learned that there are pros and cons depending on who's the group. Laura learned that focusing on strengths allows for higher performance and collaboration. The key is that everyone contributes. We had our master researcher, our excellent chart maker, and our communication coordinator, and all together, it all worked out.
Thank you all for listening.